Hello there friends, Steve Tergoose here. I'd just like to read a little bit of Faust by the German author Goethe, and it's a discussion between the devil and Faust, or Mephistopheles and Faust. So I'll try and do the accent, and I'll try both parts, and I'll talk about the relevance afterwards. But first of all, I'm just going to do the original German text if I can, both voices. So it starts with the devil. Gestehe ich's nur, dass ich hinausspaziere, verbreitet mir ein kleines Hindernis, der Druidenfuß auf eurer Schwelle. Das Pentagramm macht dir Pein? Ey, sag mir, du Sonderhülle, wenn das dich bannt, wie kommst du denn herein? Wie wird ein solcher Geist betrogen? Beschaut es recht, es ist nicht gut gezogen. Der eine Winkel, der nach außen zu ist, wie du siehst, ein wenig offen. Das hat der Zufall gut getroffen. Meine Gefangene wärst denn du? Das ist ohne Gefahr gelungen. Der Pudel merkt nix, als hereingesprungen. Die Sache sieht jetzt anders aus. Der Teufel kann nicht aus dem Haus. Doch warum gehst du nicht durchs Fenster? So ist so ein Gesetz, der Teufel und Gespenster. Wo sie hereingeschlupft, da müssen sie hinaus. Das erste steht uns frei, beim zweiten sind wir Knecht. Okay, I'll just read that in the English translation, which actually isn't really very good. So where was I? We start with the devil. Let me confess, there's one small prohibition. Lies on thy threshold, gainst my walking through, the wizard foot. Does that delay thee? The pentagram disturbs thee. Now come tell me, son of hell, I pray thee, if that spell binds thee, then how enterest thou? Thou soulst proceed more circumspectly. Mark well, the figure is not drawn correctly. One of those angles, 'tis the outer one, is somewhat open. Dost perceive it? That was a lucky hit, believe it. And I have caught thee then, well done. 'Twas holy chance, I'm quite astounded. The poodle took no heed, as through the door he bounded. The case looks differently now, the devil can leave the house no-how. The window offers free admission. Devils and ghosts are bound by this condition. The way they entered in, they must come out. Allow. In the first clause we're free, yet not so in the second. Now, it's a horrible translation, I feel. Es so ein Gesetz der Teufel und Gespenster, wo sie hereingeschlupft, da müssen sie hinaus. Das erste steht uns frei, beim zweiten sind wir Knechte. It is so a law of the devils and ghosts. Where they creep in, they must go out of that way. The first law is for them free, but the second they must obey. The second law. So the idea really goes to Faust and the pentagram, and this idea about Satanism and occult symbology, and really the devil is in the detail. And if you know yourself when you're working with your hands, when you're working with measurements in life, if you get the measurements wrong, things fall down, things collapse. The devil is in the detail in all other things. That's where things go wrong. And so kind of that's been transferred into the literature, into our systems, into the ways we think. This world is not just a practical world that's with our hands. It's happening very much in our imaginations. In fact, life happens more in our imaginations than it does in the physical realm in a way. We manifest that what's in our minds into the physical realm. So the pentagram in itself is just one of the very basic, simple symbols. You've got a circle which has no points on it, then you have a droplet or an iris that has one or one side on, and then you have a triangle 3 sides, a square 4 sides, and when you get to a pentagram you have the 5 sides. It becomes a wheel, and if you take 5 rods of equal length and join the ends together exactly perfectly, then you will get the golden ratio within that. You don't get the devil, you get the golden ratio, the ultimate golden ratio. But only if you can disconnect those ends, it will still look like the golden ratio, but you know for sure that it won't be, because the ends of that pentagram are just separated slightly. So you can see that the perfection in the pentagram is the perfection of the universe, the perfection of consciousness itself, the perfection of nature. It's not some kind of like satanic perfection. The Satanism leads in this idea that we need to look at the imperfection. Need to work out how to how to avoid the devil coming into our detail, or at least to realise that we are not perfect as man. And so, yeah, the pentagram's not really a sinister symbol at all. It signifies the ultimate perfection. It signifies, the hand. We have a 5. Maybe that's why it's called a wizard's foot, because it's like it has 5 points, like 5 toes. Obviously, we see this as a satanic symbology in a lot of films that are made to kind of scare us, with this pentagram form, and people have put like candles in each corner and do rituals and ceremonies. These are just kind of like superstitious kind of ideas to depict as best possible with that medium, to actually show images of what's happening when there are no images, because it's a feeling, it's a taste, it's literary, it's universal, And the idea with the pentagram also is just universality. It's applied to a lot of things. Like the schools of wisdom and things. So we shouldn't really see the symbol as being an evil symbol. On the contrary, the symbol itself wards off evil. Now, there's been a lot of talk about whether it should point downwards or upwards, and I think it's just a symbol at the end of the day. And we shouldn't be scared by symbols. We should just make sure that we do the best we can to not make those little mistakes. Okay, yeah. Basically, because if you don't make something perfect and the devil gets in through the detail and the wheel falls off, or the wall falls down, or your idea doesn't work out or something, then you've got nobody else to blame than the devil. Your own imperfection, your own lack of being able to see where you've made a mistake in the detail. Okay, I'll leave it there, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little bit of Faust. Cheerio.